Stories that are untold, underreported, and all-out inspirational. Carey Pena reports.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carey Pena. Thank you so much for listening to Carey Pena Reports on iTunes and Stitcher, and for watching our shows on Facebook and YouTube. You can always find all of our shows and content at inspiredmedia360.com. On this podcast, we like to focus on people who have highly inspirational stories to share. And I am welcoming an amazing lady into the studio today, magazine publisher and entrepreneurial all-star. I just gave you that title. Don't you love it?
I do.
Renee Dee. And you came dressed in my favorite color.
I know,
today.
we're matching exactly.
So this is perfect. You have just launched a new magazine called Iconic, and it caught my attention. And we're going to talk about how you came up with the idea and what your goal is with the magazine. But first, I want you to talk to people about how you have managed over so many years to continue to invent and reinvent yourself as an entrepreneur.
Oh gosh, you know what? That could be many hours long. You know, I am some people. So I've got friends who say, "Gosh, you know, Renee, you are just fearless." And I said, "You know, I don't know that I'm fearless. What I am is able to manage the fear because I'm visionary and I get something in my head that I want to do and I just go after it." And one of the things that helps manage fear is a little bit of speed. And so I move quickly and I move decisively, and that really helps. But I'm super creative and I love creating new things and I love working with amazing teams. All the things that I've done, I've always been surrounded by really incredible people, and that inspires me too. But it's about big ideas.
And I want to dig into this because I know so many people who listen to our podcast are entrepreneurs or who have a sidepreneur thing going on, and it's always interesting to hear from people like you how you make things happen. So in Arizona, you're very well known because you helped to launched Arizona Foothills magazine, and that has done very well, and you've gone on to other endeavors and been very successful. This new magazine, Iconic, is something you thought up, and when you say that you just go with speed and you don't allow, I assume, doubt to creep in, talk to me about that mindset.
You know what? You've got to be your own business coach. You've got to be your own life coach every single day. So in launching Iconic, we made the decision literally 90 days prior to launch. So we had been contemplating it for a couple of years. I had been thinking about what it could look like and what it could be, but there were some pieces that hadn't quite come together for me. And at the moment we determined how we were going to build our audience and we figured out what it was like, okay, it's go time. So we put the date on the calendar and the whole entire team was like, what? I said, you know what? We got to get on the board. We just got to get on the board. Here's the day that we're going to launch. I've got a fantastic team that knows how to make deadlines. So I knew that we would launch on time, we would launch beautifully, fantastically, but we gave ourselves 90 days to come out of the ground. Part of that was that I've got a team that knows what they're doing. And so I was like, okay, let's just get going. We know what we need to do. But the other piece is, you know, in talking about the entrepreneurial side and talking about right after I started, you know, when you do something well, and then you say, well, I'm going to come and do that again, it's scarier the second time around. You would think that it is easier the second time around because you know what you're doing. The stakes are higher the second time around because people expect, wow, she was known for doing a good job with that.
Yes.
So then all of a sudden you start putting that pressure on yourself.
Yes.
Of, you know, I'm expected to do a good job. And it's not that the self-doubt doesn't come in where you think, gosh, what will this be like and how will it be? It's just that I immediately kick into, that is not a productive thought. I've got 90 days to launch a magazine. There's no time to think about this. You know what you're doing. You've got a great team. Move forward. The best thing that you can do is to move forward and take action. And I know that I know what I'm doing. I believe in myself, but taking action is the thing that quells that fear. Because fear isn't going to create a magazine. Fear is not going to create a successful business. Fear is not going to create anything for you. It's going to slow you down. It's going to sabotage what you're working on. And so you've got to get the fear behind you right away. And so I always looked at it as, you know, that cute little, that kid's Christmas show, you know, put one foot in front of the other. Yeah. And so I kept thinking, I'm like, Renee, take a step forward.
Yes.
Take a step forward. Every time you feel it, it's like, take a step forward. And that got me right where I needed to go. So it's really, there's no entrepreneur out there. I mean, I'm certain the billionaires would tell us that they have moments of fear too. It's really how you move forward with that. And so I knew that I was committed. And so to me, it was just, I'm super focused on time management. And I'm like, we just don't have time for this. You know?
Which is a helpful thing to think about, is just moving forward.
Yeah, just take a step.
So tell us about Iconic and how you came up with that name, and what does it mean to you to be iconic?
Oh gosh, it's I love publishing and I love magazines and I love telling stories and I love good editorial and good journalism. And so really what we wanted to do was take the things that we love from magazines, which is incredible, beautiful photo shoots and fashion shoots and great editorial, and turn that into an online magazine that was going to have all the deliciousness of a magazine, but the portability and the measurability of an online platform.
Which is where it's at.
Which is where it is. So Iconic is online all the time, and it's so we have no vision to move it to a print platform whatsoever. It's going to be strictly online. And the name really just appeared as fast as the commitment to do it. There was that thinking about wanting to do something, and then as soon as there was a light bulb moment that said, here's how we're going to do it. And then it just, like, the word iconic just showed up. It's about being long and lasting and true. And when you think about the things that I love, which is design and fashion and travel and culinary arts, it's about doing things very well. So it's not about trendy. It's not about what's hot now. Well, we're talking about things that are very current and very now. Things that are iconic are things that are done extraordinarily well, that stand the test of time. Everybody's got their zone of genius. They've got their thing that they love. And when I'm not saying I'm a genius, I'm saying this is my thing I'm good at.
Yeah.
Don't hire me to be your CFO. Let me show you not my zone of genius. But I know what I know, and I know what I'm good at, and I know what I love, and I know what I'm passionate about, and there's a feeling inside that tells you what you should be doing. And this is what I've always loved. There's times I think, gosh, I should have never left the world of publishing. But to be back in the world of publishing, nothing makes me happier. So how does it make me feel on a daily basis? Thrilled. When you've got a dream, no matter the size of the dream, if it's something you've got this burning desire to do, you know it's something that you need to do, then you need to pay attention to that. And you need to figure out how much is that desire burning within you, should you pursue it or not. There are people that are in careers that have, as you said, side projects and side gigs that they're working on. That may become your main gig. That may not. Is it a hobby, or is it really meant to be a business? You'll know inside. Intuitively, we all know where we're supposed to be going with it.
You've worked a lot, and you've told me this on yourself in terms of balance and health and fitness and wellness. And your son is now 16 years old. And it seems like you're really hitting your stride at this point, better than ever.
Well, I feel that, so it's interesting. You had also asked about, being a working mom, and I've been a working mom, his whole entire life. And so it is a balance. And it's funny, it's humbling. Kids are awesome at keeping you grounded and humble, right? So here I am trying to change the world and trying to create this big publication and lead this market and doing some incredible things. And my son's like, what's for dinner, Mom? And it's like, they remind you what the most important thing in your life is. It's your kids. It's your business. People call our businesses our babies. They're kind of our babies, but our babies are our babies, and they're always our babies. And there's nothing that will stop me in my tracks faster than something, that my son needs, or we're studying for finals, or we're trying to get math homework turned in that is a lot harder than that sounds, and that stops me in my tracks. There's no business important enough to get in the way of doing those things, and it's just about, you've got to have balance.
Since you are a very smart businesswoman, obviously, is there a failure that you have been able to learn from and to kind of self-correct and make it better?
Oh my gosh, I think failures are the source of some of our greatest learning always. So there's probably a ton of failures that have taught me something, but I guess recently when I think about things, I think it's, as women, sometimes we overpromise, and then you've got the pressure to deliver on that.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we say yes to too many things, and then you've got the pressure to deliver
you're
on
speaking
that.
My language.
I know.
My producer's always lecturing me about that.
Yeah. So I think really we have to, as women, think about what can we truly handle, what can we truly do well. And I think, at least in the current day, if I think about something I've failed at, is that I've overcommitted myself to something that I really shouldn't be doing. And so I was having a conversation with one of my team members the other day, and I said, you know how you spell success? Focus. Focus.
Yeah.
don't lose focus. Loss of focus means you're going to have a little visit from failure.
So do you remove things from your plate when you realize that you are getting too busy? Because, what ends up happening is you're successful, you're well known, you have a great heart, so you want to be connected to the community, you want to be involved in charitable events, you have your girlfriends to go out with, and you want to have social time. So what do you do to make sure that you can remain focused and living day to day the way you want to live?
Gosh, you know what? I think every day it's a challenge. So I look at the calendar and I look at what have I committed to, and I try not to say yes to those things that are not going to help move my business forward. So right now, today, I think about, priorities. Number one, son that's about to turn 16 years old. So I've always got to have time for that. 2, a brand new business that absolutely needs me. So then you just start peeling things off, right? People say, well, can you go to such and such place for the weekend? Let's go hang out. I can't right now. But 6 months, invite me again. You know? And so it's just, you've got to constantly be taking a look at that asset of time. We've only got 24 hours in every single day. And as much as all of us pretend that we can get more time out of the day, we can't.
Yeah.
And so I look at time as I look at it like money. And it makes me crazy to lose it, to waste it. And so I use it very prudently, and I'm constantly thinking of how to invest my time.
And for Iconic, as you guys launch in big fashion, and I hope people will go and check it out. It's a beautiful magazine, really well done. What is your hope for the future for Iconic?
To continue to grow, we would love to be able to grow outside this marketplace as well, and really to inspire people to live beautifully. It's really that happy, safe place you can go for fantastic content where you're not going to bump into anything controversial, political, negative.
Lord have mercy. I'm looking for those kind of outlets. I need you to come and clean up my Twitter feed right about now.
Yeah, so we're really purist around living beautifully and living an inspired life. I mean, exactly what you're talking about with Inspired Media. It's really inspiring others. And so the hopes and dreams are that more people continue to follow us and that they'll love it. I just got a message from a reader the other day, and he sent something, and I said, well, are you a subscriber? And he said, of course I'm a subscriber. I look at it every day. And I was looking at the name of the person who sent me this note. I'm like, I have no idea who you are, which is awesome because it's not just the friends and the people in the close circle. We're impacting people out at those next levels, and they're loving it, and that makes me happy.
That's been, I felt the same as I built out various podcasts, and then you see people subscribing, you're like, oh, cool, I got some people that aren't my mom, my BFF. Exactly. Got some people from across the country. It does feel very good. Yeah. What do you say to people about I don't like anyone feeling that they're average. I think everyone has an opportunity in their life to be iconic.
Absolutely. We all are iconic. You know what? If we're living our best lives, being our best selves, and being authentic to ourselves, we are all iconic, right? We're all created perfect from the very beginning. And it's our own inner voice that may tell us that there's some imperfection about us. But if you truly believe in if you believe in yourself, you'll know that every single person is iconic.
And just in closing, because I know you're one of those people who I could go way over time with, but what does it feel like for you, Renee, to have worked so hard, to have kept your entrepreneurial spirit, to have never let your self-doubt creep in and overcome your ideas and your dreams, and to now be living a very purpose-driven life?
Oh gosh, what does it feel? It feels satisfying. I always feel like I'm always a work in progress. So I still feel like my very, very best days ever are still ahead. I'm always striving for more and to be better. And so I hope that I don't look to the past and say those were my best days. I hope the best work I'm ever to do is still in front of me.
I think it is. You in that beautiful dress you have on, you're ready to take on the world. Where can people find you?
iconiclife.com.
Renee, thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks, Carey.
And thanks so much to all of you for listening and watching Carey Pena Reports. You can find us online at inspiredmedia360.com. Until next time, stay inspired.